Hey everyone, it's Libby here, joining you for my very first tea and a chat video, which actually one of you guys, I can't remember who, sorry, came up with the idea of doing a little chat series. So I decided I would do tea and a chat, and that way I can share some of my favourite teas with you each week or fortnight whenever I get around to film these. It probably won't be regular, it'll probably just be when I have something to talk about, but we'll see. So the first a suggestion was to talk about buying a free range products of meat products and things like that, because I did mention in either a vlog or a grocery haul that's what I try and do for the rest of my family. But before I start, I will show you my tea. If I do appear hot and sweaty, I am sorry. I've just been cleaning and working in my laundry and I'm having a break, so I thought I'd film this while I have a break, but I'm still hot. So hence a cold tea today, which is not like me. I'm usually all about the hot teas, but it's too hot to have a hot tea right now, so going with cold tea. And this is from T2. This is Fruitalicious. Yes, that's I stick the label in the cupboard because one I'll rebuy, but that was the last of it that made up this jug of tea. So recommend that one from T2 if you're here in Australia. I think you can get T2 overseas, but I'm not 100% sure. I will try and put a link to it in the description bar, but I'll write it down at least anyway, or use it in the label. So it's very nice. I've enjoyed my Bailey, and if I turn the camera around, there's Rosie as well. So anyway, so as I said, today's chat is going to be about free range meat. I have been a vegetarian for 11 years now, and recently, the last year, I've been trying a vegan diet on and off. At the moment, I'm on and doing really well with 99.9% vegan diet anyway, let's say that. I'm following a plant-based diet. So anyway, but for my family, I would try and buy free range meat. I've had a lot of trouble getting free range meat lately, and it's been a bit of an issue. So that's what I'm talking about, what to look for in stuff. So I might start with eggs, because they're pretty straightforward. I found a chart recently that showed, and I'll try and find it and link it below if I can, and it showed the optimal eggs to get for chicken welfare. I'm sure you all know about cage hens being terribly mistreated, and it's a horrible life for a chicken in a little tiny little space they get to live their whole life. Not very nice. So you want to try and buy free range, but free range organic is actually the best, because free range chickens can still be debeaked without any anesthetic or anything like that. So you want to look for free range organic if you're super concerned, as you should be. You should be concerned about animal welfare. So, and you want to have eggs still, that's the best ones to get. Or alternatively, get your own chickens, and you know. Now, obviously, with chickens, there still is the downside of the industry is that all the male chickens are killed, and they're actually, from what I can tell, most of them are shredded or minced alive, which is pretty horrific. So, I still do buy eggs for my family, but I make sure I buy free range organic, but obviously it still doesn't deal with the male chickens that are just killed outright. And also it's still, obviously, I don't know what happens with the chickens when they get old. So anyway, but if you want to eat eggs, try and get free range organic. It's the best you can do. If you still want to eat eggs, it's the best you can get for the chickens. So, and like I've got one chicken left. We had 9 at one stage and they've all died off over the years. This one must be, I think she's over 6 years old. So she's pretty old for a chicken. She's not laying any eggs anymore. She's out and given up, but she's a lovely little chicken, and just, I would hate the thought of her spending her life in a little cage. It's just not very nice. Anyway, so that's what you do for your eggs. Chicken, you can now buy free range chicken in a lot of places. Coles and, I don't know, Woolworths. I shop mainly at Coles. I find Coles have quite a good selection of free range chicken, and I will buy that sometimes for other people. I'm struggling with a bit more now that I am going vegan, but I will still do that because I figure if they weren't at my house, they would be eating meat anyway. At least this way they're eating free range chicken, so it's better. But yeah, so you can look for free range chickens in the supermarkets. I think the prices, I don't really know because I don't look at anything else, especially with chickens. I only look at free range chickens, so I don't really know the price wise, but I think it's improved a lot. When I became a vegetarian 11 years ago, you couldn't even buy free range meat. That was part of the reason I went vegetarian, because I didn't want to have unethical meat. Ham is my little bugbear. I've been buying free range ham and then discovered that really wasn't free range ham. It's all been withdrawn out the shops now, so really annoyed about that, because I was giving my money in, you know, good faith to these companies that were having this free range ham, and it was all a bit of a scam apparently. But I've just been watching a video, and I said to the family, I don't think I'll be buying ham, bacon. I don't buy pork anyway. I don't buy bacon. Kevin will sometimes buy bacon, and I only buy the free range ham for his lunch. But I said to Athena, I said, I won't be buying ham anymore. I will link the video below. It's come to light quite recently, apparently, I just found out today, that pigs in Australia are all gassed. That's how they're killed. That's the humane way of killing pigs, is to gas them. And the video, while not probably terrifying, I've seen a lot worse when it comes to animal cruelty. You can just see the pigs are just so distressed, and that's not a humane way to kill an animal. I mean, we all think of the concentration camps and the gas chambers, and we're all horrified, and yet that's how our pigs are being killed in Australia. Yeah, I'll put the link below. The video is not... If you eat ham, or if you eat pigs, you should watch it. You should know how your pigs are killed. That's ignoring the fact about the stalls, how a lot of the female pigs and mother pigs are treated, put in little crates while they've got little piglets and they're nursing their piglets. That's been my bugbear about ham or pork products for a long time as well. So, yeah. I'm not... Even as a vegetarian, or vegan, whatever I am at the moment, I'm not totally unopposed to people eating meat if it's raised and killed in a humane and treated in a humane fashion. I don't personally feel a need to eat any meat, and I haven't missed it in 11 years. But if people still want to do that, then at least to get meat that, I mean, it's an animal, it's a life. A life's been given for you to eat that, so it should have been a life that at least was a happy life for the animal. Okay, so done pork. Beef's a hard one, because in Australia now we do have feedlots. So for a long time we didn't have them, so at least if you bought beef, it was free range beef from farms and big, can't think of the words, but big areas of cattle and stuff like that where they roam and whatnot. So you could assume that the cows, not dairy to meat cows, had a fairly good life. But we do have feedlots now in Australia. So, and if you've ever seen a feedlot, it's just absolutely horrendous. And now there's no life for any animal to live in a feedlot. They don't have grass, they don't have shade. It's just horrendous. I mean, I know a lot end up there in time before they're slaughtered, but yeah, so if you want to try and get meat, so if I was buying beef, I might buy it once or twice a year, or buy roast beef sometimes for Kevin. Try not to buy from the supermarkets, because I think they're more likely to be getting their meat from a feedlot than a butcher. If you can find a free range butcher, a butcher that sells free range meat, that is obviously the ideal thing to do. You could ask your butcher. I don't have a local butcher because I don't buy meat, so I don't know where to go to get free range meat, and I don't really buy it, don't cook it, don't buy it, so it's not a big issue for me to just get somewhere else. Dairy cows, obviously, if you know anything about the dairy industry, it's another horrid industry. I'm quite pleased I'm not consuming any dairy anymore. And it's been hard. Like, that was probably the hardest thing. I'm not finding it hard now, but I love cheese. So anyone knows me, we used to have a cheese drawer. We still do one, but have a small cheese drawer now for the cheese eaters in the family. But the dairy industry is a pretty cruel one too. Obviously, again, the baby males are taken away at a very young age. The mothers are very distraught. I had a friend who lived near a dairy farm, and she said the cows would cry and carry on whenever their calves were taken from them. I watched a video recently, it was the same thing. The baby cow was taken away in the back of a truck, and the mummy cow was crying and running after the truck to get its baby back. So again, not a very good industry, and obviously the babies are all killed and often starved before they're killed so they can be used for veal. So veal, please don't buy veal. The veal industry is like the worst. I don't know, they're all pretty bad. The veal industry is really, really bad, because I said the babies, because they're only like days old, usually days or weeks old, they're pretty much starved until they're killed. So, and I've seen some videos of that side of the industry, and that's just barbaric. So yeah, please don't buy veal. I haven't bought veal for many years, and Kevin doesn't want to eat veal. It's one thing he doesn't eat either, so we're very much against veal. And we used to eat it, but now that we know what's involved, no more. Okay, so dairy. Now in Australia there is one farm I know of, Baramba, I think is the brand, or the farm, and they actually keep the baby cows with the mummy cows until they're fully grown, and then the male cows then go off to their own field and just live out their life in the field. So it's hard to find the milk, but you can find it if you have an organic store nearby. They might be able to get it for you. It's not cheap, but I am happy to pay more for that because I know there's really no cruelty involved. I can't think of any cruelty that would be involved in that industry. Besides, I know a lot of people still feel that an animal being kept pregnant continuously is no good. But I mean, that's to me going to be the optimal milk to get if you want to have dairy milk. But there's some great non-milk alternatives around, non-dairy milk alternatives around now, and I haven't really missed milk. I've been using soy, I went about almond milk, coconut milk, and I haven't missed having milk at all. And I do believe you can get some vegan cheeses too, made out of the nuts and stuff, but I haven't tried it yet. One day I'll get around to trying that. Okay, so what else haven't we talked about? Fish. Fishing is a really big problem for the world because the oceans are overfished, and that has massive environmental consequences. So I've never been a big seafood eater anyway, so not having fish has never been a real thing. It's never been a big problem for me not to have fish. But if you are going to have fish, try, I think like Alaskan salmon is the best salmon to get. I know that because it's just salmon that swims up the rivers, and they're going to die anyway after they lay their eggs. So I believe that's a sustainable fish, is Alaskan salmon. I don't know how readily available it is in Australia. So all I can do, I can't really make many recommendations on fish besides to do your research into the fish that you are buying and make sure that it's not like under any threat, and that there's plenty of numbers of the fish and how it's caught, because obviously like net fishing is really barbaric. If you send the big nets and they scoop up everything, and you know, other animals that aren't the target, other fish that aren't the targets die in the nets. So you don't want to get anything that's caught by net. Lamb, I don't really know much about the lamb industry, except I guess they're baby animals, so yeah, I can't really, I honestly don't know much about the lamb industry, so I can't really make any suggestions in regard to that. But again, if you want to, I think honestly, if you're going to eat meat, you should be doing some research and at least know. You might still choose to eat it. This video might not make any difference to you, but please just do some research, know how your animals are killed, and then decide whether you're okay with that, I guess. So I have no problem. I can watch hunting videos. I watch a lot of shows on Alaska, and they go out and they hunt and kill their food, and I don't really have any problem with that. They got a lot of trouble to get their animals. They kill them humanely, the ones that I watch anyway, the shows that I watch, and they're very respectful of the animals. One in particular we watch is Alaskan Frontier, or The Last Frontier, something like that. But when they shoot and kill an animal, they always just like say thank you to the animal for giving up its life. And I just think that's so nice and respectful. They really appreciate that an animal, and they get the fact that an animal has died for them to have that meat. And obviously in remote parts of Alaska, you can't just duck down to the supermarket and pick up a tin of beans, or you know, even grow your own fruit and vegetables through the winter. So I do understand that they probably have to eat meat. So I think I've covered all the things to think about when you're looking for meat and dairy, cheese. Hopefully I have. I'll try and put some links down below so you can look at some further information. In Australia, Animals Australia is a really good website, have a lot of good information. They seem to do a lot of good research. I think I've raved on enough. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope you've gotten something out of it. I hope I've given you something to think about, and go away and do a bit of research, and at least know and make decisions about what you're doing. As I said, I've only myself just given up the dairy, and eggs again haven't been a problem because we've had our own chicken for so long, our own chickens. But I've struggled with the dairy. I sort of go on it, but I know, because I know what's involved, I really can't in good conscience have dairy. But everyone's got to make their own decisions about where their line is and what they're prepared to do. But you need to know all the information, or as much as you can possibly get anyway, and then evaluate where you're comfortable being. So if you've got any questions, let me know below and I'll do my best to answer them. If you want to give me your thoughts on how you feel about all this, please, I'd love to hear your thoughts as well. As I said, I know everyone's different and everyone's in different circumstances. I just want people to know what's happening and then to think about what they're doing and if they can afford it, to put their money towards ethically raised meat and dairy if you're going to consume that. One of the things that to keep in mind, especially with regards to the pigs, is a pig is intelligent as a 3-year-old child. So you wouldn't want to gas a 3-year-old child. It knows what's going on. A pig does too. I mean, that's the thing you've got to think about. I mean, pigs are smarter than dogs. And we wouldn't treat dogs the way pigs are treated. So, anyway, I'm going to hop off my little soapbox about this. Thank you for the opportunity to express my thoughts and to give you guys some more info on all this. And if you've got any suggestions on my next tea and a chat, let me know, or I'll come up with something on my own. But if you've got any suggestions for future episodes, I guess they're an episode, let me know and I'll and I'll look at filming a video for you guys. So, till next time, I'll see you later. Bye.